It's your girl, Bayuke Kawai of the Bayuke Kawai Show. Hi, how you doing? Hope you're good. How was your day? Hope you had a good day, a blessed day, an amazing day. I'm so sorry. I just want to apologize first before we go on that I'm genuinely sorry that I didn't put out like an episode last week. I obviously was going to even put like an announcement that, oh, I'm so sorry, guys, but I was too busy. Not even busy. I just felt like I was not in the right frame of mind. And obviously, I'll just you guys about that, but like I was not in the right frame of mind to just even put out an episode, and that was it. And so, but yeah, how have you been? Generally, like, how have you been? How has work been? Or school? How is life generally? How's life been treating you? So what I did is when I was go to church. I went to church. I did some so so I volunteered to be like in the social media group, basically media group, yeah. And I handled like a big camera. So the thing is that where I was really close to the altar. So every time the man spoke into like the headset, I needed to literally press the headset well so that I can hear him, because every single time it was like, oh, camera 4, because I was on camera 4 apparently. He was like, camera 4, move this thing. I will try to move it. Move it this thing. I will move it. Move up. I'm like, Zach, can you hear me? You I'm like, do you know what? I don't know how to do camera. This is like the very first time I'm handling such big professional camera. I don't know how to do this. The guy gave me like a really quick crash course, but even the crash course was like, I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. I was just like, what have I done to myself? What have I done? But it was an interesting experience. I'm not going to lie. I genuinely enjoyed it, even if it was like, oh my God, you needed to be like literally like on ground. So I genuinely enjoyed the fact that I was able to experience it, and that was beautiful. So guys, let me not just see what happened. So you know that I've been looking for an apartment, right? Or rather a room, because in London you cannot afford an apartment. Well, you can if you have money. But yeah. So I've been looking for a space basically. And so there's this lady that, okay, so where I work currently, there's a guy that comes and stays for quite some time, then he goes back. So coincidentally, he also is looking for a room. So Ina said that, oh, there was a room that he saw that is quite expensive, that is above his budget, but if I'm interested, I will let me know. And I said, okay, that's fine. I collected the woman's number. She's Nigerian. And I collected the woman's number. I called her that, oh, I would like to come and see the place. And she was like, okay, that's fine. Then I think the next day I went to see the place. I even had two viewing that day, funny enough. So the first viewing, yeah, I had two viewing that day, actually the next day. So I went for that first viewing, and I think I even told you guys, yes, I told you guys sometime, yeah, I went for that viewing. Then I now went to see the other viewing. That's the woman. I think I did. I said it about like 2 weeks ago. So as I said, the place is nice, beautiful, no stress, not so much space. I think the only thing lacking in that house is space. There's not they don't have space. There's no space enough. It's a really it's a cute small apartment. Yeah. And I didn't mind as at that time, to be honest. I don't say I didn't mind. It's not more like I didn't think through it, which is partially my fault. I just saw the cuteness of the apartment, the lighting, because the lighting was really good. I was just thinking, oh, if I put my pod in this place and I do a video, it is going to look so nice. So that's what I was thinking about, yeah. But I just feel like, but the next day I told the woman that, okay, I think I will take the apartment. As I said, my fault. So I put like an £100 deposit for the place. So I was like, oh, because I don't have the money, like enough money to even cover the the rent. So one thing they do here in London is you pay for like 2 months straight up. You pay for like a deposit of 1 month, then pay your actual rent. So the deposit for 1 month is is like when you're leaving, you collect your deposit. Well, that's actually like the point. When you're leaving, you're going to take your deposit, and that was it. So and I said, okay, that, do you know what, let me just, I don't, so the woman was kind enough to say, do you know what, if you don't have like the full deposit, you can pay 1 month and a half. So that means I'm paying 2 weeks deposits according to her. I said, okay, that's fine, I will do that. So we then, I the next day, which was a Wednesday, I went to her place on Tuesday, saw the place. Wednesday, I was like, okay. I asked a lot of people that, do you think staying in a house, because I was really skeptical about the fact that she's Nigerian, I'm Nigerian. I don't want a situation whereby over familiarity comes into play and we're like, we're both Nigerian now, so that you're supposed to expect some things, or we don't do things just because we are Nigerians. And when I went to her place, she did say that, to be fair, but she said it in passing, and she said it very absent-mindedly that, oh, there is someone that comes, like a sister that comes once in a while. I feel like that was the way she said it, like, oh, she comes once in a while and she doesn't really like stay and all of that. And my own fault is that I assumed that the sister was so probably somebody in my age group. Do you get, someone that is like young, maybe like in her 20s ish or like 30s. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So like, do you get, like, I just said, oh, that's fine, since like she said, as she's, and the way she said it, she said once in a while. I'm like, okay, that's fine, no problem. So I went and paid the £100 deposit, and I was like, okay. Then the day I was supposed to actually go and pay for the rent, like pay for the rent and the remaining deposits. So I'm paying 1 month and 2 weeks deposits. I go to the house that night, because most of the time we meet at night. I go to the house that night, and the person I saw in the parlor was an older person. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't even know whether I mentioned this. The second person that I'm talking about, or the person that I'm supposed to be living with, or the person I was interacting with in all of this conversation, is older than me. She will probably be like in her late 40s, early 50s. So the fact that it was just going to be two of us, she's a matured person, I am a baby girl. Do you get it? I like, we would work in a sense. If she minds her business and I mind my business, we would work, as long as we're both, we don't necessarily have so much thing in common. So we just live as two people that are living in a 2 bedroom apartment. Fine. But then she, so as I said, I went into, I just wanted to give that context that, oh, she's way older than me. So then I go into the house that Tuesday, a week after, to pay the money, to collect key and all of that. And I realized that the second person, that is her sister, that I assumed that is younger, is actually older. So this second person is older than my supposed roommates, like older than the person. So the person I'm talking to, that I've been talking to, is like, as I said, like in a maybe mid 40s ish or late 40s. So this person, the her sister, should probably be like in a mid 50. I said, ha, hey, two mummies. I said, So the thing I did next was where I would say that I personally would say I I didn't do well, which is when I saw that woman, I just knew that I cannot collect that apartment. Not because she did anything bad to me, but just because I didn't want to live in the house with two grown adults, like two mummies. Especially the fact that they are Yorubas again. No shade to Yoruba people. I'm a Yoruba person. But I was like, nope. But guess what I still did? I still went ahead to pay. Yeah. I know. I even me myself, I can hear the fact that, oh, Bukola, you fucked up. Yes, I know that. I know that because I knew then that I didn't want to live in the house again. And I just, even the fact that whether she was coming once in a week, two times in a week, whatever, I didn't care. I just knew that I did want to stay in this space because I'm like, I just feel like it was going to be like a controlling. I just knew that I shouldn't. Like, there's nothing that should be. I don't want to. Like, I didn't even want to stay in this space. That is how much I wanted to leave that house. But I still went ahead to pay. And after paying, I knew I made a big mistake. I collected the key and I left. Uh, but guess what? I called my friend. I was like, I called my friend. I called a friend of mine. I was like, I'm not sure about this house and all that. And that was how when she now said, okay, she said, oh, baby, you give this baby lamba. I said, okay, well, I shall give her a lamba that, oh, my landlord said I can still stay. I called her the next morning, literally like the next morning. I called her the next morning and said, oh, my landlord said that, oh, I should, I can still stay and all of that. That I was like, I don't think I want to go ahead with the house again, but I'll be coming back much later. That I'm currently at work, but I'll be coming back much later to drop a key. That's how the woman said, okay, she needs to get off that she needs to go and do whatever, that she'll call me back. Then she calls me back. I was just reeking. That what do I mean? That the time that she have spent just keeping the room for me. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand that, but I can't do this. I can't. She was like, at some point, she was like, oh, hold on, let me talk, let me speak. Don't. I said, okay, yes, mommy. I just said, okay. So she should just yan. So after that, I said, okay, no problem. Then I, I didn't end the call. Look, I think she ended the call, but like I was still going to go and drop the key in respective. So after work, I went to the house, dropped the key. That's that two of them literally ganged up against me. They were just yapping, talking that, oh, this, oh, that, like some serious, like I don't have a mind of my own. That it's somebody that told me no, and I came to tell them no. That I'm like, okay. I obviously didn't want to tell you that. The reason why I'm telling you no is because the person that I assumed that that is your sister, was a younger version and not an older version. And now that I'm meeting that this person is older, I don't think I want to stay in the house with two mummies. I look, you should have just said that, oh, I don't think I would have been convinced. But I just feel like they will try to want to convince me that, oh, she doesn't really stay, that that's not an issue. I feel like they would have tried to convince me and I didn't want to be convinced. So I'm like, nah, it's not worth it. So they just kept yapping, talking, this one. I'm like, okay, can you people give me my money? So funny thing is that my friend already told me that they would want to hold on to some certain percentage of my money, which was what she did. So she came and was like, oh, she was going to hold on to 2 weeks, the 2 weeks deposit. I'm like, what 2 weeks deposit? I literally saw the house last week Tuesday, and I paid, I paid the next Tuesday, which was like a week and 1 day. So what are you saying that is 2 weeks? She was like, okay, maybe it's not 2 weeks. And 2 weeks as of that, like if she had removed it from the money, was about 400 plus. I said, what? Why will you remove 400 plus? Shemo, am I working for you? Like, make it make sense. Then she then said, okay, we'll do 1 week. I was like, even that 1 week is a lot. That's 200. something. I'm not ready to drop 200k. I'm 200 plus for. I did not come to the house. I did not drink water. I did not do anything. There's nothing that I've collected in this house or received in this house. So she just said, okay. I don't. I just told her that, you know what, the max I can do that you remove from this money is £100. Even that £100 save, I'm regretting currently that why did I even drop that money? It's irritating me, but I just needed to drop the money to move on with my life, and I dropped it. We were even still struggling. At first, I said 50. The other woman said, Tibasok, if she collect 50, something, 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 something. She said something, something Yoruba. To be honest, I can't remember right now. But she was like, if the woman collect 50, is a disgrace. She can I said, okay. Oh, yeah, at 100, can move on. But don't like me. Because all this one people are speaking is English. At some point, she was like, oh, should she bring the lawyer? I'm like, do you know what? We are bring the lawyer. Let's move forward because I need to move on. I need to go home. Like this, it was late. It was like 10:30, 11. To be honest, I didn't want to involve lawyer because that's like an extra, like the fact that my money is still going to be in their hands. I do want that, but I'm like, if that was going to make this quicker, I feel like I should even get all my money because we didn't sign any contract. There was no contract binding us. There was nothing, and I didn't even want to stay in a house where there's no contract binding us. It was just more of she was one that collected the house from the landlord, and me, I'm like a second tenant. So I don't know if I wanted to be in such situation whereby I didn't have any contracts like binding us and saying, okay, this is it or this is that. But yeah, that happened. I was not in a good place. Like mentally, I was just like, oh my god, what have I done? But so they kept saying that, oh, I am a bad person. I am a bad person. I stress them. I shaking it call, shaking it call. Okay. Do you know what? At some point, I think that I did want to be. So I had to do like a self reflection. Yeah. And I realized that all of this would have been avoided if I had, when the day I went to pay the money, like the main rent and deposit and collect the key, the day I saw that I was sure that I didn't want to collect the apartment, I should have just said, you know what, guys, I'm not sure I want to make this payment again and just back out. Yeah. I didn't want them to call me a bad person in that situation because in my head we were friends and I did want to be a bad person to new people that are my friends. But then I still became a bad person because at the end of the day, I tried to choose myself. I didn't want to choose somebody else. I didn't want to go into this apartment just because of I didn't want to lose money, because somebody told me that, oh, I could have easily just packed in and move out 1 month 2 weeks after. But like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to stress myself packing out, packing in. That's too much mental stress. Do you get? And so I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just want to leave. Like, sorry, I don't even want to pack in. I just want to live in that situation. But the fact that they kept saying, "Oh, I'm a bad person. I'm a bad," I'm like, okay, fine. Maybe it's fine for me to be a bad person in choosing myself, because guys, you are choosing yourself and you're saying you want to collect £100 as deposit as deposit money. But anyways, so it now made me even think about it. That, do you know what? There are sometimes there's some situation that it's fine to be bad people if it means choosing yourself. Is then fine to be a bad person. Like, I wish that that night I just said, I'm backing out from this thing. I don't think I'm doing it again. I wish I did that, but I didn't do that. But I still spoke up, which is the most important thing, because speaking up is very important than me just saying, do you know what, is fine, I'm just going to pack in. No, I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm glad I spoke up. So the fact that it's fine to, I'm glad that I chose myself at the expense of some people's own happiness. Or not like, the way I said it just felt like, oh my god, you're choosing yourself. You're choosing yourself. But to be honest, there's sometimes that you need to, there are times that you need to actually choose yourself than choose other people. Because if you don't choose yourself, I see it as you need to choose yourself, you need to prioritize yourself so that you're able to pour into people. Obviously, there are times that you don't need to choose yourself, you don't need to choose your comfort. Maybe a friend needs something, you like, you're tired, like, do you know what, I'm still gonna run it for you. I got you, baby. Like, normal, fine. But there are other times that, like, I'm so sure that I am a villain in a story, which is, it's not all right. Do you know what? I guess it's all right. It's all right for me to be the villain in a story if it makes me happy, if it makes me comfortable. I am fine being that villain. I need to be. I need to get to a point. I'm talking to myself, to be honest. I do need to get to a point where I am okay being being a bad person in somebody else's story just for my own comfort. So I understand when people say that, oh, they they so right now I think I remember a story that a lady said, just going into marriage and love. Yeah, this lady said that she I think it was the wedding night, wedding morning, and she was not certain about, or if she was going to marry this person, and she had to call off the wedding that morning. It was crazy because I don't even know if I would, now that I'm thinking about the situation, I don't know if I would have had so much courage to do that. I pray to God. I don't even want to be in such a situation, to be honest. Let person like, let me just marry and move forward with life. I don't have that strength. But I hope that I am bold enough to be a bad person, to choose me. People say, oh, she's a bad person. Oh, why did she wait that long? She may have been second guessing herself. She may have been gaslighting herself all the time. That, I think I feel run this thing. I feel like I feel run this thing. But it comes to, like, on that day that she's actually supposed to make a decision. Basically, like the day that I was supposed to pay the rent and collect the key, then I see this decision. I'm like, oh no, this decision is a bad decision. I should have just said no, but guess what? I still entered into it. But the next morning, I'm like, okay, oh, please, I don't want again. Divorce. Let's divorce each other. I feel like that was how my own situation played out, because I still went ahead to say I do, and then the next morning I'm asking for like a divorce. I'm like, wait, we never even sleep together, so don't worry, it's fine. Let's let me just give you back. Let me give you back your ring. Let me give you back your ring. We never sleep together. That was how it was playing in my head. But as I said, it's fine that people should judge your decision, because it's how it's the choice that I made, saying that, do you know what, I want to return back your key. It obviously is affecting them, and I'm so sure they probably thought, oh, they found a person. And I'm not saying that what I've done is good or bad. I'm not saying, oh, clap for yourself because I could. But at the same time, what I'm saying is, I chose myself in a situation where I felt like, or I knew like, this was not going to be comfortable for me. Because if I'd gone ahead to do that, I wouldn't like it. I'm not even thinking about it, that the room is small. Why did I even say yes in the first place? I don't know. Well, I was captivated by the cuteness of the room, to be fair. So, and just learning or growing is just, is realizing that there are sometimes that people are going to be disappointed. That does not mean you've done anything bad. When you disappoint somebody, like, and you will know that, oh my god, I beat myself up when I feel like I'm supposed to do something and I did not do it, or when I'm supposed to know something and I don't know it, or I did not do it. Like, I really like, I drag myself. I don't even know. I am not so kind to myself so much like that, because I'm like, babe, you're supposed to know this thing now. Why you don't know this thing? Like, I feel like I put so much pressure on myself. So the fact that, if I don't even want to disappoint other people. The if I disappoint myself, I'm ash on myself. So just imagine if I disappoint other people, how much of, like, oh my god, because why did you do this? You shouldn't do this. Da, 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 da. But then there's sometimes that I can't. Is I can't. It's not a you're a bad person. Because at the end of the day, if you don't choose yourself, if you don't prioritize yourself, people would then ask you, why were you saying yes to all of these things? If you didn't like it, you should have spoken up. That's it. People are just going to take advantage of the fact that you didn't speak up. They're like, well, when I wanted to ask for help or when I wanted to do this, I spoke up. So you should have just done the same thing if you're grown up. Yeah. So, and the thing is, I feel like most of the time the reason why we don't want to be, I hope you all understand what I'm saying. I hope you guys do. I truly do hope you do. I will listen to this again. But I feel like there's sometimes that the reason why we don't want to be a bad person is because we are trying to avoid difficult conversation. And to be honest, that was why I did not say anything, because I was really trying to avoid a difficult conversation. And I that's the one thing about adulthood that nobody gave a crash course on. That how much difficult conversations you will need to keep having. You need to keep having difficult conversations. I wish they told us earlier that everything is not all smiles and pictures and clock it. No, you're gonna have difficult conversations. There are difficult conversations that you will need to have, and because people try to avoid those difficult conversations, they now even get into a space where they're like, how did I enter here? Because they don't want to have difficult conversation. You will have difficult conversation with yourself as a person. Mind you, in all of this conversation, I'm talking to myself because I need to let myself do that. Because like, you're gonna have difficult conversations. If you're not comfortable with something, you're gonna have difficult conversation about that thing with whoever the person you're interacting with. So I didn't want to have difficult conversation with the woman the night before. Guess what? The difficult conversation the day after. I did, because I had to stand up to choose myself. So, well, that's one thing I'm actually learning from adulthood. Difficult conversation is irritating because the amount because if you keep throwing it under the bed, you're trying to avoid the situation. At the end of the day, I've realized that it doesn't work. That if you don't want to have a difficult conversation with your partner, with your friend, that relationship would die. It's like it's dead on arrival already. Already. That's just the truth. Literally dead on arrival. I know that there are a lot of guys that like, especially guys relationship are very funny. I'm serious. Guys can be like in the house and they're like, oh, chill, 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 chill. Guys, I know. Say, I don't even understand guys' relationship. I just feel like it's not deep. It's nothing. It's just very surface level. But guys that have great and intentional friendship, difficult conversation has to be in it. You know how you say, "Emma so utofu ara yin." Basically, like you have to tell yourself some hardcore truth, and especially if you know that you are being friends with this person and it's not every time buzz 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 buzz. You're like buzz 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 buzz. Yeah, there's sometimes you have difficult conversation with your partner, even if your partner be like, what you're doing is not good, I don't like this. You just need to step up, literally step up. Like you need to protect yourself, and especially and for your partner, you need to protect your partner, be it man or woman. You need to be like, do you know what? I can see this danger coming. So before this danger come, let's know what we are doing here. Do you get? So and to be honest, choosing yourself would be like, oh, you're being selfish. And sometimes it's fine to be selfish. Sometimes. Emphasis on the word sometimes. I'm not saying that your best friend, I don't know. I don't know the situation. To be honest, everybody gauge situation, and like now there was a time that I had to choose between going to a to there was a time that I had to choose between there was not to choose between going for a viewing and helping my helping my friend. Even if I moved my viewing twice and the lady cancelled it the second time, she was like, "Oh, she can't wait for me." I made a decision to help my friend earlier in the like earlier times of the day. Like so my friend had to move. So I was like, you know, I'm going to help you move, and I will try to move my viewing. But when I moved my viewing the first time, I just assumed we were going to make it back by that time. But the moving took longer than expected. So I reached out to the lady that I was going to check the like a like the room that, oh, or the space that, oh, I'm running late and all of that. And the second time she like, you know, she can't wait for me, and that's fine. So I made that decision to do it. I'm gonna help a friend. Yeah. So whatever it cost me at the end of the day is my decision. I cannot now blame the lady and say my friend that, oh, it's because I went for a viewing for you. I made the decision. I'm a grown ass adult. So yes, even if I did say that, oh, I was going to collect this house, I made a decision again. I said, you know what, Moti Rokini Dada, I'm not sure. I think I want to go on with this space. I'm allowed to. And the fact that we didn't even sign any contract, I'm even like, I'm more allowed to do that. So I guess it is what it is. It is what it is. So it feels like I'm ranting, but I'm not ranting. I'm just literally like letting everyone know, including myself, that sometimes you need to choose yourself. Sometimes, emphasis of the word, you people should underline the word sometimes. You need to choose yourself. There are times that you need to have difficult conversations with yourselves, with people, with your friends. However, like you, and those choosing yourself means having difficult conversation, means setting boundaries. Boundaries are so important in any kind of thing you're doing, in a friend, in friendship, in partnership, in marriage, whatever. In relationship, boundaries are so important. If you don't have boundaries, everything will come crashing down, literally. So you need to have boundaries. And I wish they really gave us like a crash course. This is something that I think I would start teaching my kids early on. Boundaries, I mean difficult conversation, because this is something that is a necessity. We shy, particularly me, I shy away from it. In as much as people say, oh, I genuinely do not think I'm a confrontational person, but I try to be a confrontational person because I know I've lost a friendship because never told her the truth. I never had difficult conversation with her. I never told her, say, all this thing you're doing is trash. Figure it out. Like, I never had such conversation with her. I just kept nudging her, praising her. Like, come on. Come on. And that friendship, as I said, if you don't have if you don't have difficult conversation, is literally dead on arrival. Everything you're doing, dead on arrival. Whatever relationship you think you have is dead on arrival, literally. So choose yourself and also have difficult conversations today. Anyways, so at some point, to end with these words, you decide whether you want to be a villain in someone else's story or a victim in your own story. Just imagine I had said, okay, I was too scared to say no, then because I was technically supposed to move out on the fort, move to the place on the fort. So I would have just moved on my things to the fort, and I would not be happy in that place. I would definitely not be happy in that place. So I'm glad that I chose myself. Yay! uh, we've come to the time for throwback songs. Gigi, 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 gigi. So we're gonna be doing Only Me by Tubaba. So my first throwback song for the evening is Only Me by Tubaba. So we're gonna do like a quick intro. If the say not just me, I believe in like I don't care. Live my life, no to nobody. If not just me, I could do it anyhow. Because nobody could get you to challenge you. Nobody's supernatural. So basically, you get the drift, yeah? So only me by T Baba. And the next one would be Jambajantis by Sound Sultan. I think that song is a good song. Everybody, oh yeah, join Jambajantis of mathematics. We did about our continent. Oh, Ibo saying about magical use of mathematics. So follow Joel Mathematics. Oh yeah, Bible. Love your neighbor as yourself. Oh, be objective, gentlemen, ladies. But you guys get the drift, yeah? So, yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, that is the two song. I think that's we've come to the end of this part. So, guys, today I don't want to say choose yourself, but you guys understand the drift at this point. Like it's fine. I think at this I would say that sometimes it's fine to be a villain in somebody else's story. At some point, you just gotta make some boundaries just to protect yourself and protect your peace. Because how many people do you want to like? If you just allow different weird ass people into your life, yourself you become a fool at the end of the day. Do you get? So you need to be a wise person. You need to wise up. You stress smart. You need to be stress smart. But yeah, guys. So I do hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. We're gonna be making some changes. Well, probably not in this month of August, obviously. Okay, not obviously, but we're not gonna be making some changes in this month of August. We're gonna be doing it, let's say, maybe like in October ish. Yeah, they're gonna be like some changes. I think we're gonna be moving into video, guys, because apparently, video is the way to make more to have more subscribers. So we're gonna be going into videos, and hopefully, I'm in my new space by then. And I can't wait to like share all of these amazing journeys in video. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, there's still a lot of things I need to figure out back end, but I know God got me. We're gonna do it. Yeah, guys. Thank you so much for always reaching out and asking or checking up on me every time you make there's an episode that's been missed. I'm talking to a particular person, to be honest. You know yourself. But yeah, thank you so much. You help me stay consistent, and I'm so grateful for you. To be honest, I'm grateful that God had brought you to my life in a sense. Obviously, you have always been in my life, but for you making me consistent in this thingy, you don't make me feel like, oh, Bukola is saying trash. So thank you so much, I truly do appreciate it. So thank you. But yeah, a special shout out to you, special shout out to you, special shout out to you. So yeah, thank you so much, thank you everyone that keeps listening and listening and listening. To be honest, let me know, like the numbers have dropped, and I think it's solely because I've not even been pushing it on my WhatsApp. I'm not been pushing it on my Instagram and TikTok, but it's just been a lot, to be honest. But it's a learning process, so I just need to push myself. It's not even laziness. It's just like it's a lot to have to handle on your own. But I know God got me. God will help me. So do have an amazing evening and a great evening. But yeah, I'll have a good one, have a blessed one, have a great day. And obviously, please, before you go, like, share, comment. And yes, I told you the guys I'm reading comment already. So like, share, comment, post, repost, reshare. Thank you. And if you enjoyed it, just say, "Oh, I truly enjoyed this episode." Or, this episode. Okay, maybe don't post this episode is not nice, but yeah, if you enjoyed it, just say like. Thank you, guys. Do have a good one. Do have a great evening. Bye bye. See ya later.